Good evening. I am Karen Stevens here with a presentation on Edgar Cayce. At this time, my audience will introduce themselves. Thank you for attending today.
Okay. My name is Samuel. Coming to you live from Dictory not a favorite song. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
My name is Sarah Darnell.
My name is Beth Darnell.
My name is Sandra Stevens.
My name is Graham.
My name is Charles.
My name is Brian.
Thank you. What man was called the father of holistic medicine? Who diagnosed illnesses, revealed lives lived in the past, and gave prophecies while in an unconscious state? This man was Edgar Cayce. Cayce helped thousands of people using his psychic abilities for healing and prophesying, although he considered the healings to be the most important part of his work. Cayce's main goal in life was to help people through his readings, even though it took a lot out of him physically and mentally. Edgar Cayce was born on a farm in Hopkinsville, Kentucky on March 18, 1877. At a young age, Cayce was viewed as odd by his peers because he was able to see and speak to his late grandfather. He also played with imaginary friends whom he said were spirits from the other side. When Cayce was 15, he was struck in the back of the head with a baseball. He went into a semi-conscious state and told his parents to prepare a special poultice and to apply it to the nape of his neck. They did so to appease their son, and the next day Cayce was completely recovered. This was the beginning of his lifelong journey of helping others by giving readings to diagnose and recommend treatments while in a trance-like sleep. With the encouragement of Al Lane, a local hypnotist, Cayce began to offer healings to the public on the condition the readings would be free. Cayce would lie on a couch, close his eyes, fold his hands over his stomach, and put himself into a self-induced sleep. Cayce could give a reading using a letter as effectively as if the person were in the room with him. He would be given a suggestion, usually by his wife Gertrude, while his secretary, Gladys Davis, would document all of his readings in shorthand. Gertrude would provide the name and location of an individual, and Cayce would answer any question about the person. Cayce displayed a depth of medical knowledge while in a trance state that amazed more than one physician. He had knowledge of anatomy unknown to him while awake, and he had no memory as to the content afterward. In his normal state, Cayce was an illiterate man and knew nothing of medicine, surgery, or pharmacology. Cayce was known to have spoken more than 24 languages while in a trance state, but had conscious knowledge of only the English language. Word spread of his treatments, and soon people from around the world began to write to him for help, and he began receiving sacks of mail every day. Cayce was persuaded in 1923 by Arthur Lamers, a wealthy printer, to give readings on philosophical subjects. Lamers told Cayce that while he was in a trance state, he spoke of Lamers' past lives and of reincarnation. Cayce questioned his secretary, who confirmed this. Cayce found the concept of reincarnation difficult to believe and challenged Lamer about the reading. It was also reported that Cayce's conscience bothered him severely over this conflict. Supposedly, his trance voice dialogued with Cayce and persuaded him to continue with this kind of readings. In 1925, his voice instructed him to move to Virginia Beach, Virginia. Commercially minded men wanted to take advantage of Cayce's clairvoyant abilities in order to make a fortune. He was asked to give readings about daily outcomes in the cotton market or outcomes of horse races, while others wanted to know where to hunt for treasures. He was reluctantly persuaded to give readings for them. This left him dissatisfied, and he was unsuccessful giving readings for such purposes. He was left depleted of energy, distraught, and unhappy with himself. Cayce decided he would only use his gift to help the distressed and the sick. While giving readings, Cayce's prophetic powers emerged. He warned people 6 months before the stock market crashed to sell everything. Many of his followers failed to take his advice and lost all they had. Among many of his predictions included his prediction of the start and the ending of both world wars, and when the Depression would come to an end. In 1935, he spoke of the coming Holocaust in Europe. Edgar Cayce became a celebrity near the end of his life, mostly due to his prophecies. He was featured in a high-profile article in the Coronet titled "Miracle Man of Virginia Beach." Skeptics challenged Cayce's psychic abilities, and Christians questioned his unorthodox answers on religion regarding reincarnation and Akashic records. Cayce was a highly religious man who taught Sunday school and read the Bible through for every year of his life. He was an humble man who never profited from his mystic gift. He helped others only when asked, and he was asked frequently. Cayce developed a wide following due to his many accurate predictions and diagnoses. He couldn't refuse people who felt they needed his help, and he increased his readings to 8 per day to make an impression on his growing pile of requests. This proved to be detrimental to his health, emotionally draining him and causing him extreme fatigue. Cayce's readings are recorded and indexed at the Association for Enlightenment, ARE, established in 1932 in Virginia Beach to study Cayce's work, and is still available today for anyone who might need their insights and practical advice. The majority of his readings dealt with holistic health and the diagnosis and treatment of ailments. During his readings, he emphasized the importance of diet, attitudes, emotions, exercise, and the patient's role, physically, mentally, and spiritually. His readings foresaw the direction of health care, and he has been called the father of holistic medicine. Cayce's last reading was for himself on September 17, 1944. His own readings had warned him time and again he should do no more than 2 readings a day, since the readings took too much out of him. Cayce felt he could not refuse to help the mothers worried about their sons on the battlefield. On New Year's Day, 1945, Cayce announced he would be buried January the 5th. He was right. Edgar Cayce died January the 3rd, 1945, from a stroke at the age of 67. There are thousands of Cayce students today, and more than 300 books written about Edgar Cayce. Members of Cayce's organization, the ARE, exist worldwide, and there are Edgar Cayce centers in more than 35 countries. Members have access to the more than 14,000 of his readings on file at the ARE. This represents the most massive collection of psychic material ever obtained from a single source. The ARE continues Cayce's work, making available Edgar Cayce books, New Age books, self-help books, and metaphysical books. This remarkable man, Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, the Miracle Man of Virginia Beach, and the father of holistic medicine, had enough of his diagnoses and predictions proven true to silence many of his skeptics. Any questions? No questions? Thank you again for being here with me this evening.